What's up, guys? It's your boys Awoki back with another Chris Watts video, but this one is completely centralized on Nichol Kessinger. I don't know how many more people have to literally come into my comments, my DMs, and tell me to give it up. Why is it that I need to give it up, that I'm so centralized on NK? Like, are you that upset that I'm looking at a woman that destroyed a family? I literally do not understand why they are so bent out of shape on me looking into Nichol as a possible an accessory to murder. And I've literally gotten some weird messages. But with that being said, we're going to talk about Nichol Kessinger. Because there's so many unanswered questions that are still unanswered. And I'm going to reiterate them because I'm going to show you guys, for those that still believe that Nichol Kessinger was not involved in some shape or form, that she was involved in some shape or form. So, before we go any further, if you guys could do me a solid favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel by hitting that wiper icon down the bottom right, hit that bell icon next to it so I do post videos like this one. You guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, thank you so very much for that continued love and support that you guys show on this channel every single day. I thank you so very much. We are going to be watching a little bit of Geneva, a great YouTube channel that I watch a lot of this person's content. Make sure you guys go over there, give them some love, subscribe, comment, like, and share. Give them the love that they deserve for putting this video together for us to enjoy, but learn more. Again, there's so many things that we need to look into. Why did Nichol ask to have Chris prove it that she was out, or he was out at Survey 319? Other things that really bothered me, I'm going to let you guys know right here. NK did not go to LE until after 3 days and only 2 hours after the Anadarko rig. Manager contacted Detective Tammy to alert them of the affair between NK and CW. Here's another one. Fingerprints lifted off the sheets and trash bags were never actually tested because the case was actually closed before any of that could be finalized. They were going to use it for trial, but then it never went to trial. We know Nichol Kessinger's backstory, history, that Nichol Kessinger stabbed Teddy Gary Pye. I'm butchering that. Gary Pye in the back when she was a teenager because she was caught doing some inappropriate stuff in a home that was not hers with another married man. Nichol Kessinger did a factory reset on her phone. You guys, there's some people that say that she didn't. But in the investigation, you can actually hear that she tried to refactor. I don't know if she successfully tried or did, but she said that she was literally trying to delete the messages, factory reset her phone, because she wanted nothing to do with Chris. She tried to destroy her SIM card before handing it over to law enforcement almost a month later. I was actually under the impression that it was way sooner. No, she didn't give her phone over until almost the end of September. Nichol Kessinger lied multiple times and in interviews with law enforcement for no apparent reason, besides that she was trying to hide information. She was literally tiptoeing and hiding. Literally, oh, I got a headache. I don't feel good. I'm so tired. They would believe it and then not answer the question. Ridiculous. Nichol Kessinger was listening to one of Chris's calls with investigator. They were trying to do a three-way call so she could hear in what he was saying to the investigator. Law enforcement, obviously. The district attorney's office was asked if they were going to look into those infamous FB Facebook searches into her text histories, and the DA said Chris' guilted plea deal concluded the case. There's no further reasons why they need to look into forensic analysis of her phone. They literally were They're researching, and they're like, "We got the deal. We can't investigate anymore because there's a block, and they can't go anymore because they were done." The same day that law enforcement found out about the fair, she Googled that day, "Can cops trace text messages? How long do phone companies keep text messages? What is the difference in text message content and text message details?" And then when she deleted that search, she deleted everything. She literally was deleting search histories of how to delete messages. How is that not red flag, red flag, red flag? But they're like, "No, we're done." The fact that Nichol Kessinger didn't clock into work that morning at all. Her phone pinged that morning. The only time in Frederick, Colorado was that morning of the murders. And we have people that are defending Nichol saying, "It's probably because she was driving to her work." You know how long this woman was working at Anadarko and her phone never pinged in Frederick, Colorado? What about? I'm trying to find the words to properly say that the list is there of things that NK did wrong. And yet we're told again countless times, over and over again, that we DA or junior detectives that sit behind our keyboard playing detectives or investigations and criminology and whatever have you, that we don't know what we're talking about. But yet the list that I stated out just now, thus more, does not have any representation to be used in evidence to bring Nichol down. She's literally living her life to the fullest, or she's probably trying to, and yet we're the ones that are wrong for looking into her, and we need to get a life. She needed to get a life. She destroyed 4 lives. 4. She destroyed even more. She destroyed the Rusek's life. She destroyed the Watts' lives. Cindy and Ronnie. Their lives are never going to be the same. As much as I don't agree with things that they have said. Technically, Nichol Kessinger ruined Chris Watts' life. I'm not saying that Chris Watts does not deserve where he's at. He deserves to be exactly where he's at. And more. But yet, for people to come to my DMs and tell me to get a life, I'm a loser, I need to move on, look at something else, I have nothing better to do besides, like, what is your deal? Like, what is it wrong? You're probably searching OnlyFans models or whatever. It's literally people coming after myself and not enjoying their lives, so they have to destroy other people's lives. Or try to. I don't care what you wrote. And is it a bother that I do this kind of content? Is it a bother that I do paranormal stuff? Are you going to tell me to stop doing paranormal stuff? Are you going to tell me to stop doing Funko content? Because it's overdone. It's enough. We're sick of it. Are you going to tell me to stop talking about toys? Because toys are overdone. Are you going to tell me to stop talking about electronics? Are you going to tell me to stop talking about Power Rangers? Because it's annoying to talk about from a 35-year-old man that talks about Power Rangers. No, they look at this thing that I'm doing and they literally are upset because I am talking about it. I'm sorry, but I have the freedom of speech, as do you. You have your opinions, your theories. I have mine. Have I said that people's theories are stupid and wrong? Yes. But do I sit there and repetitively write you in your DMs telling you that you are a loser as well? No. I could care less what you do. If you don't like the content, you don't like the videos, leave. So with that being said, with my rant that I am ranting about, that I wanted to not stray away from this this video, Chris Watts' Mistress, Nichol Kessinger, the Prove It, so many important and unanswered questions from Geneva or Jim Eva. Again, subscribe and support this channel, and let's take a look about more about Nichol Kessinger.
Off and research.
Not bad. Go subscribe to her. Give her some love.
Hello everyone. I know it's been a while since I brought you guys a Watts video, since I've branched off and researching other cases, and as you can see here, this is where I make my videos. You guys know that I like to investigate a little bit deeper, and I've had these videos sitting in queue since November of 2019. So I have a lot of work to go over with you guys. And today I'll be going over the video called Prove It. And this is with regards of the Mistress, Nichol Kessinger.
I did want to understand that too, why she asked, like, why did he have to prove that he was out at Survey 319? I still am trying to wrap my head around that, why it was such an important reason. Or the footprints that were out by the gravesite. There was multiple, not just one. That's a little head scratcher in itself.
Now I'm going to be pointing out some things that Nichol Kessinger has said that was very suspicious. And if you've watched my other Watts video, you'll see that this might look familiar from the timeline videos that I've done in the past. And as you see here on August 13th, as we all know, Nichol Kessinger's phone pinged in Frederick, which is the area
to Jim,
Shanann Watts and Chris Watts' house.
She literally called Jim, but the investigators didn't even question Jim because they leave Jim alone. Like, what? I've never heard of that. If the cops want to investigate whoever they want to investigate, they can do whatever they want.
The morning he did the horrendous deed to his poor, beautiful family. And here's where I showed the map where she left her area where she lives in North Glen, Thornton area, where she pinged in Frederick and then Platteville over to her work, down to Brighton and back down to her house that day. And those are all pings from her phone activity. And that was the only day, the only morning leading up to what happened that she took the Frederick way to go to work. Because in that other video I made about her phone records, I did these maps for every single day leading up to what happened. And every single day she would go from North Glen to Brighton to Platteville. Never went.
And the morning of the murders, she goes to Frederick. But she never actually went to work. She never clocked in. But yeah, we're just blowing smoke out of our hoo-ahs.
Towards Frederick. So, why that morning? Nothing's been released that shows or states that police and investigators ever asked Nichol Kessinger why she pinged there that morning. And if they did their homework like I did, they would have seen that she never went that way when she was going to work.
Agreed.
So why wasn't this asked?
Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't even matter where.
Some law enforcement did a great job in this case. Some law enforcement did not do it. Again, I'm not a professional. I'm not educated. How would I know? Where are my credentials? I don't have any credentials. I'm just saying I could see that some of them did their job and some of them didn't. I guarantee if you came to my work, you'd be like, oh, yep, he's doing his job. Some of you would be like, nope, he's not doing his job. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like, you guys, there's some people that just want to see the world burn and will say anything nasty to make themselves feel better. And you know what I have? I have a block button.
Where exactly she pinged at in Frederick, it could have been on any of the towers that are in that area.
Mm-hmm.
The big question is, why did she go that way on the day he annihilated his family? It's puzzling why they wouldn't ask.
Why didn't they ask? Nichol, why did you go past Frederick the morning of the murders when you normally would be going from North Glen to Brighton to Platteville? But the morning of the murders, question mark, quotations, you went through Frederick, Colorado. Can you please tell me why? Where was your whereabouts? Who could confirm this? Do you have an alibi? None of this was asked to her.
Why was her father so demanding with how they were going to treat his daughter during the investigation?
You're leading.
What type of power did he have over these investigators?
I've heard, I don't know if this is, or how much validity this has, that Nichol Kessinger's father and D.A. Rourke actually golfed together. I don't know, again, if that is factual or if it's just hearsay words and stuff like that. But it'd be very, very interesting if that were the case. Just saying.
Investigators to where these important questions were not asked. I've tried to put this case on the back burner for a few months now, and just rethinking all of this, it enrages me all over again.
I agree, girl.
Because I've been so passionate about this case,
Amen.
About the victims, and all the people involved.
Or I get told that I'm so, like, I have a love of obsession with Shanann. I don't know Shanann. Okay? The love obsession that I have was for Kate Beckinsale, the girl from Underworld. Okay? I don't know Shanann. I'm fighting for Shanann because there are literally people on this platform or other platforms that are literally bashing Shanann for possibly murdering her girls when that is not the case. There's no evidence that supports that. The evidence shows that she was a loving, caring mother. They find literally any little tidbit of negativity in her life and explode it into exponential BS. For what? I'm defending a woman that cannot defend herself. I'm surprised there are people that are not going after Bella, Celeste, and Nico, saying it was their fault that they were murdered. The Ruseks have been blamed countless times for possible involvement. Are you literally kidding me? I guarantee they would rather have their grandkids and their daughter alive. They claimed it was for insurance purposes. I guarantee they could care less about the money. But yet, let's go after the Ruseks. Let's go after Frankie Jr. Frankie Jr. was just a brother that loved his sister, loved his nieces, and hopeful future nephew. He was like a brother to Chris, but yet they're the ones that are targeted. That's why I do these videos. And we'll continue making these videos until hopefully one day somebody snaps the frick wide awake and says, you know what? Maybe we need to look into this case on NK even more. But until that time, don't watch my videos. Go watch somebody else's videos that you agree with and leave us the hell alone.
And I know a lot of you feel the same way. There's so many unanswered questions. But I think if there were one question to be answered on this case,
that morning?
It would to be, why did she ping in Frederick that morning? And that was a half an hour after he left. Why did she go that way that morning? And she never went that way any other morning. It's a simple question, and maybe it has a simple answer. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe that's why it's never been brought out to the public. Because someone might get in trouble, perhaps. And I'll quote Nicole herself. Why? Why can't they answer the question? It's very fishy, isn't it?
I agree, Geneva.
All right, so on with the rest of this video. I just had to put that out there again because I know a lot of you feel the same
I
exact
feel with
way.
you.
So this is a quick shot of what was told. Nichol had told Chris to prove that he had been to the site that Monday morning.
Makes no sense.
The same site where a couple days later his family was found in the ground and in the oil tanks. So now Chris had to follow the demands of his puppet master. So what does he do? He responds with text messages between him and other Anadarko employees to prove that he was at the site. Chris also sent Nichol a picture of the release. So here's another question that should have been asked. And even though Nichol worked at Anadarko in the safety department, why would she need Chris to prove to her that he was at that site? What would be a logical explanation?
The only thing I can think about is if they actually followed through their plan of, which is a theory, we don't know if it's 100% true, that they were going to blow up Survey 319 because he had gas cans, where this could have been the accidental ignition source of explosion. That's the only reason why I could think that this is relevant. What do you guys think?
On why she would need him to do that at Survey 319. Why not the other oil site at 1025? She didn't need proof that he went there. Only the site that his family was at? Seriously? That is suspicious as
Red flag.
hell. And the
Red
fact
flag.
that she even used the word prove. Now let's think about this. Let's think, for work purposes, if she really needed a photo of the release, let's say, because she works for the safety department, why wouldn't she say something like, well, can you show me a picture of the release, so I can send it to my higher ups or something like that, whoever needs to take care of this kind of stuff. She definitely could have took a more professional approach to trying to get a picture out of him. But no.
Could you please show me the site location of the leak? No, prove it.
She said, prove that you've been to the site. So this is the same page that I just showed you. It's just the entire paragraph. Just in this one paragraph, she contradicts herself multiple times.
So many times.
Now, I wrote down the important notes in this paragraph to use it as a timeline. So first, she asked him why he didn't come to the office that Monday morning, and that he usually comes to the office first.
But he said he'd go
So
out to Survey
no big
319 that
deal. He
morning for the
usually
leak.
comes to the office first.
They knew about the leak on Friday because him and that other guy said that, oh, we'll check out the leak on Monday. I will go out there myself. So they knew about the leak on Friday.
So why aren't you at the office, Chris? Well, wait a minute, because sometimes he had been going to the field first. She states he can go directly to the field. And then she miraculously recalls him telling her that he had to go to the pump site on Sunday. So now she knows on Sunday, I don't know which call that was. I'm going to assume it's going to be the 111-minute phone call that she can't remember any of their conversation was that night during that call. But she does recall him telling her that he's going to go to the pump site, and he tells her that on Sunday. So then why is she calling him and talking to him? I'm going back up to the top and asking him why he didn't come to the office if she already knew what he was doing. So then again, Sunday, he told her he had to go check on the release, and she says she was suspicious on why he would do this because he's not part of the environmental team. But then she says that he occasionally deals with releases.
I think she was already getting ready to throw him under the bus with this whole issue or the whole murders that took place. This is probably partly how she was doing that.
And might be responsible for closing and shutting the valves. So now she's saying Monday morning she questioned him about going to the site, and that's when she told him to prove that he was there. And that's when he sent the picture. And Chris had told her that Luke sent him or Troy to go take care of it, and Chris told her that he would take care of it. So why would she be suspicious because he's not a part of the environmental team, but then Luke, his boss, or one of his bosses, had told him to go do it? So she really messed up here by contradicting herself so much because she talked to him Monday morning and knew the prior day on Sunday that he was going to be going out there. So I think that is a straight out lie that she told investigators. She admitted that she knew Sunday he was going out there, but then had to call and ask him on Monday morning? No. If they had a conversation on Monday morning, it was not about why
I've been saying this
would he be going out there. It was about something a little bit deeper than that.
Agreed.
And if we can't see these calls, then it must have been on their work phones that she had called him on. So she had to come up with an excuse on why she called him Monday morning, because they definitely got those phone records. But the reasoning on the phone calls is a lie and contradicting.
Agreed.
And once again, why would he need to prove to her that he was there? At 319, Survey 319? Why that one and not 1025, the one that he went to with Troy after 319? Now, another good question with this prove it to me is I hope investigators really took a look back on that as well, on prior days when he was working at other oil sites, and if Nichol had any type of pattern of asking him to prove things to her. Because just like the ping in Frederick, if this was the only day that she said, prove it that you were there, then yes, another suspicious red flag. So, moving on to the next piece. Now that we know that she spoke to him Monday morning, and she says here she did recall talking to him on Monday, but she says she did not hear a lot from him that day, that he was busy, and there was nothing alarming that he said. So the phone call that they did have that morning when she lied and said, well, why aren't you in the office? So what did they really speak about that morning? And she says nothing he said was alarming. Now, let's pretend for a second that she did know of Chris's plans, what he was doing that day. Let's just say she knew that. And she's telling investigators that nothing was alarming. Of course it wouldn't have been alarming because she would have already known the plan and known what Chris was doing. So whether they were actually talking about the plan that Monday morning or not, it still leaves us with the question of if they did talk that morning and she lied about what they talked about, what did they really talk about? Because she's not actually telling them the truth. All she's saying is that she asked him why he didn't come to the office and that nothing he said was alarming. So that's telling them nothing. Just like she says she can't remember what was the phone call about or any conversations they had during the 111-minute conversation they had Sunday night. Like, there was nothing. There's no explanation or details of any of these conversations. So what is she hiding?
Exactly.
Her dad even said she is a talker, and she's always been a talker. She has to be
talk.
She has to be able to remember what she's talking about.
Exactly.
And usually when people are lying and trying to cover up things, of course they're going to say, well, I can't remember what we talked about.
It's like a child
thing. So then she had left work at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and that is according to her time card. But another big important question is, when did she arrive to work?
We never see that.
Just like the first question, why did you take the route of Frederick that morning and that morning only? So if she pinged in the Frederick area at 6:16 in the morning, let's say it takes 15 to 20 minutes to get to work, she should have been to work and clocked in at work by at least no later than 6:45 in the morning. 6:45. So why didn't they tell us or put in the discovery what time she clocked in?
You know how many things that were redacted about NK? So many things. So many things were not put in there. So many things were redacted. Like, it's getting phenomenally stupid. Is that a word? Phenomenally stupid that this continues to go on. It's just ridiculous.
That is way more important than what time she clocked out. Because by 3 p.m., Chris's dirty deed has been done.
Yeah.
He was done before 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So where the hell was she after that ping in Frederick? That needs to be looked at, because if she didn't punch into work at 6:45 or before, that would be a huge missing puzzle piece. And again, it's suspicious.
So suspicious.
So then when she gets home, her friend Jim, leave Jim alone, was at her house. She refused to give them, the investigators, his last name. And she says that Jim does not know Chris. How does that even make sense at all?
They're great friends.
Because on her phone activity video that I did, she's calling Chris, she's calling Jim. She's calling Chris, she's calling Jim. One after the other, directly after the other. So you're going to tell me you have this really good guy friend that you're such good friends with him, you're letting him stay at your house alone. But he's not going to know
and he's not
about your boyfriend, the family that you've wrecked. You have not told him one thing about Chris. This is supposed to be a really good friend of yours, and he doesn't know one thing about Chris. They seriously should have brought him in and interrogated him as well.
Exactly.
Because I'm sorry, but that is bullshit.
Well
like
said.
Her dad said, she loves to talk. There's no flippin' way she would hide a secret like this from a friend that she trusts so much she lets into her own home. He has a key to her home, and she's not going to mention anything about this boyfriend. I'm sorry, I just find that really hard to believe.
I agree with you.
Now, moving on to the part where she says that Chris sent her a text about his family being gone, and that was at 3:45, and she thinks it was purposely sent at that time. What does that even mean? She thinks it was purposely sent at that time.
Why?
What is the purpose? What is the logic behind that?
At 3:45.
Why would she think there would be an exact need for him to send it at that exact time?
There's no need.
What is so important about this time? Is it because
she's literally telling investigators, look over here, this is what he did over here, but I actually did all this stuff over here. That's what she's literally doing. It's what magicians do. Look over here, I'm doing this bird trick or whatever, but the bird is actually over here in the handkerchief. Like, and people are buying this crap.
With Jim? I don't know, that just doesn't make sense at all.
It does not make sense at all.
So when Chris texts her about his family being gone, it didn't concern her at first. Okay, so his family's gone, no big deal, maybe they're just missing, or let's pretend if she knew about this plan. If she knew, of course it wouldn't concern her. because she's happy as hell. She's finally getting her wish and her dream to be with the man of her dreams. But the red flag here is that she wasn't concerned until he says, "Can you call me?" So if she's not concerned about the text, what would make a difference if he needs her to call him? What's the big deal here if she likes to talk? And let's pretend again that she did know about this. Let's say that she knew. And now she's worried because he's asking to call and talk to her on the phone. And she has to know by this point, he's had to have said something about, one, Nichol Atkinson being at the house and calling the cops. The cops being at his house, searching through his whole house, doing little interviews with him, asking him questions. She had to have known that by this point at 3:45.
No way.
And that would be the reason why she would be concerned if she knew about the plan.
Exactly.
Because she's becoming concerned with her own
unraveling
safety. She doesn't care about Chris's family.
She cares about herself.
If she did, she would have never had an affair.
Exactly.
She should have been a respectful woman and waited until he at least left the house.
Agreed.
And was getting a divorce for real. She knew he was married. And she had to have known Shanann was pregnant with the baby. I mean, it was all over Facebook. Her Facebook was totally public. And I know a lot of people have said that there's no evidence to pin her to any of this. There might not be, but there's still a lot of questions and there's a lot of fishy suspiciousness going on. We all know this. Anyone with a brain or common sense can figure that out.
Amen,
and everyone says, why would a mistress want a man to kill his family? Why would she be a part of that plan? That question is simply just not important enough as to all the suspicion wrapped around her. I mean, 9 days prior to this happening, she's so invested.
She's not that into him.
In this relationship. She's looking for wedding dresses for 2 hours. So if you have the question as, why would this woman that's been in such a short-term relationship, they started talking through business email in June. That gives a 2-month relationship. So why would a mistress want the man that she's in a relationship with to off his family if their relationship is only 2 months old? Clearly, that's not a long enough relationship, they say. But they did not have a normal relationship.
That's true.
They both thrived off of what they were doing to poor Shanann. As far as the cheating and trying to hide
sinister
goes.
Stuff.
So yeah, it doesn't make sense on why she would want this. Why she would want Chris to do this to his family, being they've only been in a relationship for 2 months. But here she is, so invested. This is a deep relationship. They've escalated their relationship in 2 months that she's looking for wedding dresses. I mean, what does that tell you? She wanted to marry this man within a 2-month relationship. And you don't think it's possible that maybe other people are just as equally evil as Chris Watts himself?
Agreed.
That. Here's another really important question that has not been answered as well. She has deleted searches from 1 year prior to what Chris did to his family. On August 13th, 2018 is when he took out his entire family and disposed of them inhumanely. And 1 year prior, on August 3rd, 2017, she's Googling Chris Watts. She wasn't even working at Anadarko at this time.
Nope.
So how the hell did she come in contact with Chris Watts? Possibly on social media. What did she do? Just look at him and say, oh, he's hot.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to wreck their family.
Probably.
And take this man away from his beautiful, loving wife.
She liked
and then
it.
still prior, months before her getting a job at Anadarko, January 7th, 2018, she Googles and deletes Shanann Watts. And once again,
That's not
nothing
suspicious.
has been made public in the discovery. Were there questions even asked about these old searches? Because once again, that is suspicious and it is stalking. She is stalking her victims.
Yup.
It's no different than a praying mantis and a black widow getting ready to eat their prey, wrap them up, and eat them. I would really like to know if investigators or police even asked her this simple question.
They did not.
All these questions are just so super simple, and they probably have super simple answers. Or if they're not simple answers, they're not telling us. They're hiding the answers. Now, why would they do that?
Exactly.
Now, here it shows even September 1st, 2017, that Nichol Kessinger had searched on the internet for Shanann Watts. But this is false, and I'll show you why and help make sense of this. Let's just say, let's go down Common Sense Road for a second. September 1st, 2017. Let's just say it was a typo, and it was September 1st, 2018. Like some people speculate that that was a typo. Chris annihilated his family on August 13th, 2018. Nichol had her interview with police the following day. And if it was September 2018, she knows at this time what happened to Shanann and the girls. She knows. So what would be the purpose of her searching for Shanann in 2018, which was almost a month after it happened? It just doesn't make sense why she would search for her afterwards. And not only that, they confiscated her phone, her iPhone 6 Apple, on August 23rd, 2018. That was 10 days after he annihilated his family. So if she doesn't even have her phone after August 23rd, how would that be a typo of September 1st, 2018? Exactly, because it wasn't. It wasn't a typo. She searched her. She searched for Chris Watts.
She hunted.
August 3rd, 2017, a year before the murders. And then a month later, she searches Shanann, possibly for the first time on September 1st. The only difference here is that when she searched for Chris Watts on August 3rd, 2017, Nichol deleted that history. When she searched for Shanann on September 1st, 2017, it wasn't deleted. So that's all I have. I hope you guys enjoyed what I put together here and all the suspicion.
So for that being said, with all the people that maybe still be here or maybe not be here, how can you say with 100% certainty that Nichol Kessinger is an innocent woman? She is not. She is guilty at something within this case. She either knew about it, she helped dispose of them, or she helped commit the crime. And yet, the proof is there. I've said proof. I've showed proof. There's more proof. How much more do you want? I can give you guys this information all day long. So for those that are wanting to find the justice, comment down below what you guys' thoughts are. Please hit the like button for the obvious reasons of hopefully one day getting that determination of justice. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Please take care, be safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video.